All right, taking a little walk here, Lily and me, to the store. So she has to be on the leash because it's on the road. So, yeah, when well, I'm an individualist. I consider myself an individualist. But I don't feel that, don't walk out in the road, Lily. She didn't actually walk out in the road, but still she looked like she was gonna. And that car had to swerve. Let's cross the road, Lily. Let's go with the traffic. She's so excited. I haven't been taking her to many walks. She gets to go outside, but that's different. Anyway, I don't see that my individualism contradicts communalism. And when I was younger, I hadn't really sorted that out. Because I'm a pretty communal-minded person in a lot of ways. But basically, when I was younger, in my late teens, I consider myself a rugged individualist. But over time, I came to understand that phrase to be kind of like the name of a philosophy that is not either rugged nor individualistic according to my definition. And that it really, the people, the most important group is when you're trying to decide whether a term is worth rehabilitation or not, is who calls themselves that term, who names their own thoughts, rugged individualism or what have you. And I really think a lot of rugged individualism, a huge part of that bulk is it's too taken over with this concept of a self-absorbed greed. And I don't even really mind the sense in which it's about self-interest, right? Because I feel that greed is not self-interested. It doesn't end up on achieving the most for an individual person. It's in our self-interest to cooperate and collaborate and to keep this cooperation and collaboration system going, to make peace with its history, and not try to repair its history or do the false repair of condemning history on all the right grounds alone, but really to look at history as the key to not being hypocritical. Don't repeat those things in the past that you have identified as the crimes back there. Don't repeat them as well in the future. So, what I've found, my problem with this rugged individualism and this idea that I don't need anybody, and there's the idea that people would have these dollars that are printed up by a collaborative system and go, it's just an abstract thing. Money, it's a real thing, and this piece of paper somehow identifies value that you ought to be able to put in your pocket. Well, no, that's a good system, as good as we've had so far to help make this collaborative economy keep going. But it's not it's not like it's just an automatic thing, a material thing of nature that you can have a wad of paper and that's value. And I remember in my early 20s, I was thinking about individualism, and I was thinking about my shoes. And I was just, tripping out on the idea of how many people work together to make these shoes, from the farms, people that harvest the farms, people that make the equipment. It's harvested, goes to a plant that processes it, say into pulp and fibers and things that are then turned into canvases. It goes off at rolls of canvases, and so forth and so on. I mean, there's dozens, really, hundreds of people that collaborate. So I started to have an attitude where, if I saw somebody that was claiming to be this kind of totally independent, just really entirely independent, rugged individualist, that they better not be wearing any shoes they didn't make themselves, or any cloth where they didn't grow the cotton and pick it themselves, Because it's just too easy for rich kids to think they have to do everything on their own. And that's basically what we all are, because it's the wealth of society. And in the end, I found what I consider to be a very, very true statement. Ironic as though it'll seem, and maybe offensive to some of you, but in reality, individuality is something that's being invented. If you look at humans from space, you wouldn't really see the individuality. We're more alike than different from a naturalistic point of view. But we have differences that are significant to ourselves and that we can make significant. And they're rather subtle, and the only way that we're able to explore these subtle differences, these artistic differences, these artistic individualities, is on a platform of social infrastructure. So I realized that it's not a matter of the conformists versus the individuals per se. There is no future of social cohesion that is itself has gone too far per se, other than for the individual. And so the important thing is to establish a system of rules and laws and patterns whereby we can be as individual as we want, or we can group together in collaborations as large as we want. And to a certain degree, I think progress in that direction is inevitable, with the exception only being that we could blow up the human race and have to set ourselves back 10,000 years or something. That's theoretically possible, but even that's not that likely. More likely set ourselves back 100 years or something. So yeah, rugged individualism, but individualism.